Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, and welcome if you're new. I'm Josephine. So today I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful lovely high waist trouser. So let's get into the video. So for this I used 4 yards of doll face satin. So I folded it into two. I'll be cutting the front before cutting the back. So I fold it into two. Right now I'll be taking my crotch measurement. To get your crotch for a high-waisted trouser, you divide your hip by 3. So I'm marking my starting line 1 inch upward and connect it on a straight line. I'll also mark 3 inches at that folded part downward and also connect it on a straight line. After dividing my hip measurement into 3, so I'm imputing my crotch measurement. I also went up by 1.5 for my band. So I'll connect it on a straight line. This is my crotch line. So I'll impute my hip measurement, which is 9 inches. Then I'll connect it on a straight line. Now I'll divide my hip measurement into 4. Then I'll insert that measurement on my waist, on my hip line, and on my crotch line, and connect it on a straight line. So I'll divide my lap measurement into 2 and insert that on my crotch line like so, which is 14.5. So I'll go to my hip line and mark 0.25. Then I'll connect it to the crotch line. So right now I'm taking my trouser measurement. My full trouser measurement is 45. So I minus 10 inches, which will be used for the lower part. So I'm marking 35 inches now. So I'll connect it on a straight line. At that hip line, I'll go in by 2.5 inches. And so right now I'm taking my waist measurement plus 1 inch for that, then I'll connect it to my hip line like so. So I'll go down by 1 inch towards the crotch of my waist, then connect it down to the hip like this. Then I'll connect that 2.5 I marked earlier at the length down to my crotch like so. So I'll take the same measurement I got at my crotch line, which is 14.5, and I'll insert that at the full length and connect it on a straight line to the crotch like so. So right now I'm going to go out by 2.5 inch. Then I'll connect it to the crotch too. So at the full length, I'm going to go up by 1 inch. Then I'll connect it just to get that curve. I don't want it to be sharp. I'll do the same to the other side. So I'll cut out. As you're cutting, do not cut the 1 inch you went down at the waistline. Just place it on the back piece, like so. If you notice, we did not add any allowance to our front trouser. We'll be adding every allowances to the back piece. So I'm going to mark a straight line to indicate my waistline, my hip line, and my crotch line. For the back piece, I went up by 2 inches. So at the crotch line, I'm going to take 2.5 inch. Now mark. Then I'll go to the waistline. I'll take my waist measurement, divide by 4, mark. Then I'll add 3.5 inch. Remember, we went up by 2 inches. That is it. So right now I'm going to connect from that 3.5 inches I marked down to the front crotch line, like so. Then I'll curve my crotch line to the hip upward. So I'm taking 2 inches allowance at the down part, and I'll connect it to my crotch line there. So right now I'm going to cut out the 1 inch I went downward at the front waistline, like so. So I'll connect the back waistline from the 2 inches to meet with the front waistline, like so, at the hip side. So I'm going to cut out. Sorry, I lost the clip of me cutting this front pocket. So I'll just show you how I did it. This is how it is. This is the front body. So I went in by 4 inches. I marked and went down by 7 inches, like so, and I connect it on a straight line just like this and cut out. So right now I just got a fabric, a long fabric 2-piece of 13 inches width and 16 inches length. I'm going to use this for the pocket, so I'll place it like so. Make sure it matches, then I'll cut it out. I'll cut out that hip part like so. So this is the front bodies, and this is the pieces we cut for the pocket part. So I'm going to place it like this, and I'll sew it by 1/2 inch, turn it to the other side and top stitch on it. Front side facing the front side, then I'll turn and top stitch. This is it after sewing and top stitching. So our pocket is almost ready. So you turn it over like this, then you fold it to 2 equal parts, then you sew it like this. So I'll bring it back for us to see. This is it after sewing it, as you can see. I did the same thing to the other side. Right now I'm going to place the fabric we cut out from the hip part and cut out that same shape. Please, I forgot to tell you, do not throw away the pieces you cut out from the hip before inserting the pockets away. That is what you're going to place on it and cut. So this is the back bodies. I'm placing the front on the back, the hip side, that's the back crotch facing the front crotch. Then I'll go in by 1/2 inch and I'll do the same thing to the other side. The front crotch facing the back crotch. This is it after sewing, and I did the same thing to the other side. So right now I'm going to be sewing the front crotch together. That's the front bodies, the 2 front bodies. I'm going to be sewing the crotch together with 1/2 inch. After sewing, I'll insert my darts for both the front and the back. Then I'll bring it back. This is it after sewing This is my dart, and I also joined the front crotch. So I placed it on each other like so. Folded the front crotch to the back. So I'm taking my waist measurement. Take your waist measurement like so. My waist is 39 divided by 2 is 19.5. So I'm placing my 19.5 there. And I'll come down to the back crotch and mark half an inch downward. So I'll connect from that 19.5 at the waist down to that half inch. Then I'll take it to my machine and sew. So this is it after sewing it. So I'll turn the crotch and sew with half inch, both the front and back. So this is it after sewing it. This is my waist. So right now I'm going to take the measurement of the lower part of my trouser. Remember, we took out 10 inches. So I'm going to take the full measurement. I got 21. So 21 times 2, that's for the round. Then you add 30 inches to it, which is 75. Then the length will be 10 inches. So this is the long fabric of 75 inches long, then 10 inches wide. So I went in by half an inch. I sew in by half an inch. So I'm going to be using my clean O-ring to sew the down part of it. I'll sew it to the front part of the fabric, then I'll turn it to the back and top stitch on it. I'll go in by half an inch, then I'll bring it back for us to see. So this is it after sewing it. After sewing, and I turn it and top stitch and give it a nice press. So this is it. So right now I'm going to show you how to sew it down to the lower part of your trouser. Please remember to open one side of the lower part of the trouser so that it will enable you to sew in well. So this is it. This is how I'm going to make the cascading or ruffles at the down part, just like so. Then I'll sew on it. Make sure you mark half inch at the lower part of the trouser so that it will enable you sew perfectly. So after sewing, I'll bring it back for us to see. This is it after I'm done sewing it at the lower part. Look at how beautiful it is. Our trouser is almost finished. Very beautiful. So right now I'm going to open one side of my waist so that I can insert my band. Remember, our waist is 19.5, so I'm going to cut a long strip 4 inches, then I'll iron gun stay to it. So this is it. This is my 4 inches. I iron gum stay to one side of it, which is 2 inches, and I also folded in half an inch like so. So I'm going to sew the other side without the gum stain half an inch on the trouser like this, then I'll top stitch it with the other part that has gum still. You sew the wrong side of the trouser facing the right side of the strip, then you top stitch on it. This is it after sewing it. I inserted my zip, so our trouser is ready. Very beautiful and lovely. If you watch up to this place, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.